So hi, this is Jody King Colegrove with Quantum Techniques, and I wanted to kind of go a little bit over what we're going to be testing when we work together. So the first thing is a typical treatment. What we're doing is we're clearing any spiritual attachments that are not allowing you to have really good testing. We're also clearing curtains. In other words, what the body can see, it can heal, and there may be a curtain to something that is preventing that from happening. Then we reconnect everything. We are testing for toxins, pathogens, and also non-physical issues. So usually in our first session, that is what we're covering, and we're also making sure that you have a good detoxification system. So at the end of our treatment, I'm going to give you an energy code, and that is a series of acupressure points, which you have already gotten to the getting started and inputting the treatment points. So you should already have that entered, so your body knows what those are. This code is specific for you and for what you're dealing with. So I will let you know how often it's best to read that code. So it could be to read it for 5 times, 3 times a day. And I always try to link it with something like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or when you get up or when you go to bed, something like that. So each time you read that code, it's going to be retreating your body, or almost like refocusing it to heal the issue that you've been working on, or that we were working on. You can't overread a code. So if you're feeling like you have symptoms again, or you're feeling a little anxious, or something comes up, you can always read the code to help you feel better. You can read the code the way I give it to you, or you can tap the code, or you can run your hand over the code. There's lots of different ways to do that. Once you have read that code for the prescribed time that I gave you, then you can look at the code or think of the code and say release code, release code, release code, release code, release code. So if I've given you to say it 5 times, that would be releasing that code 5 times. Some people like to do that. This saves time. Some people almost kind of treat our QT codes as a meditation, and so they enjoy saying it every day. So whatever works for you, but your body has a memory of what you've put in, and so it knows what the code is to clear it. So when we work together again, we'll be testing to find out if you're keeping the code and whether it's still effective, and if it's working for you, or if you have sludge that's come up that we need to clear. And so things that make you lose a code are toxins. So those are things like ingestants, inhalants, contactants, or injectants. You may have come across like a virus or bacteria, but a lot of times that will make your code maybe not as effective. So we'll be testing to find out how everything is going. So if you're doing well with your code, we may want to add new information to it. And there's a lot of codes that I've used for like 5 years because I keep adding great information to it, and it's still very effective and it works well. It is best to recheck in with me after our first treatment within about, let's say, 4 days or so, or the next day, just to make sure that you are on track and that things are going well. And you haven't, like, say, eaten something new that we didn't test that has made you lose your treatment or not doing well. And so it's important to kind of check in with me. You can do that through a call. You can do that through an email. But that first session is always the longest because we're testing all these things. When you check in, it's just making sure that you're keeping your code, everything's going well. If you're not, then we just need to maybe find out a little bit about what it is. But it usually only takes maybe 5 to 12 minutes to really do a recheck and make sure you're on the right track. And that's in your best benefit because you've spent this great time finding out what's wrong, you're on the right track, and you want to make sure you stay on that right track. So I'm looking forward to getting started. So let's schedule a session and we can work together soon. So blessings from Quantum Techniques.